What is going on, guys? Predator458 here, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to Armored Warfare, where today we are going to be looking at the Challenger 1. Here is this beauty British main battle tank that received a significant buff to its performance in patch 0.11. This included armor buffs and gun buffs and health buffs and everything to just help it perform as it should, because it was rather underperforming before the patch. So we're just going to see one gameplay today, post commentary, because this was the first night of playing after 0.11 came out, and one of my first games in this thing. So I just recorded it to see how it did, and it ended up doing pretty well. But it is post commentary because I just wasn't recording live comms while I was doing it. But before we get to the gameplay, let's quickly have a look over some of its statistics. We'll go into the shell damage in the actual upgrade screen. Hit points. Sneers makes no difference, 2,500. 355 millimeters of front hull armor, 275 on the sides, 80 on the rear, so it got a big buff to its side armor. Turret, 436 on the front, 330 on the sides. Max speed 55 kilometers an hour, 0 to 32 of 10.5 seconds. So like the Chieftain, it is rather slow. Vision 396. Reload time just under 8 seconds. Accuracy 0.1. Targeting time of 2.3. So not bad stats at all. As for the upgrades, this is the state that the vehicle was in the video. I do have the L26 armor piercing, fin stabilized discarding sabot. As you can see, penetration 396, damage 427, so big improvements over pre 0.11. And here I've got a quick question for you guys. Which of these upgrades should I go for? Should I get the Mark III ERA and applique armor, or should I go for the gun? I don't have quite enough for the gun, but it's only a few matches will be needed to unlock it. And this will boost penetration to 405, damage will stay the same, and then eventually I can get best shell, 423 millimeters penetration, 438 damage. But which would you guys go for first, armor or firepower? But yeah, as for retrofits, I don't have too many unlocked yet. Just got the advanced MRS Mark II to just make sure that since you rely on armor piercing so much, that normalization is better and you have a better chance of penetrating. But then, as you can see, I mean, 2 more armor slots, so that will be hull reinforcement, and I don't know, that one maybe, and then technology eventually. But yeah, let's go and have a look at the gameplay of this British beauty and see how she is doing in 0.11. Alright guys, and welcome to the battle. As you can see, we are on Roughneck, and we have 5 Challenger 1s on our team. The enemy has 2, then they also have a Leopard 2 T80, we have a Leopard 2 and a T80, so there's quite a lot of Tier 7s in this battle, but also for there's a few unfortunate Tier 6s. So we're going to head down the road and move towards the refinery area. And here comes another Challenger. This one's got the ERA armor. We just try and move aside just to give him a bit of space, and also make sure that we don't ram each other and take any health off. So yeah, as I said in the intro, do I go for the new gun or the armor? I'm thinking new gun, because the armor's already pretty good. And if you stay alive a little bit longer, it doesn't help that much if you can't penetrate the enemy and do damage to them. So to me, a bit of extra penetration and damage is more important, as I said, especially considering that the armor is pretty damn spectacular already. So we are now moving in to the refinery with a T72A, got an XM1 Challenger 1, T80 also a bit further in front of us, and another Chally. So we got quite a nice little battle group here, and we're just moving and we're watching over the cap point. Now I don't want to move too far in, and there we got our first target, but we don't have an outline on him, so we're trying to back up and we get a penetration and 401 damage. And he went for our weak spot, or the previously known weak spot, the gunner sight, and yeah, didn't do anything. Damaged the module, but it didn't do anything. Now, as I said, yeah, in the intro, that gunner sight hasn't been removed completely, which is what the patch notes originally said. And we're being spotted. We're just going to back up a bit and start moving, wiggling, and that. Instead, I believe they said it's 550 millimeters in on the forum, whatever the hell that means. I'm guessing it's 550 millimeters of armor. However, it is still a weak spot. T80s can penetrate it, and obviously most things from tier 8 and 9 can penetrate it, but from tier 7, I have noticed playing a little bit more tonight that T80s very much can still penetrate it. However, they also have a nice weak spot. You can hit them for full damage in the cupola. We take a blind shot at that leopard, but no joy on that shot, unfortunately, and we're being spotted probably by that M2 Bradley. And I'm just being very hesitant to move up here because, as I said, this was my second game of the night, second game after the buff, and I didn't know how much to trust the armor or anything like that. Didn't have anyone spotting, and we got an incoming missile, and there is an enemy challenger. We're going to fire a shot into his side, 431 damage done. But I didn't know what was in front of me, what I was getting myself into. Another penetrating hit, 439 damage, and also damages ammo rack. And I didn't want to just charge in case, things ended up going horribly wrong. And here we got there was a T-72A who's destroyed just before we can get the shot off. Incoming missile from the Bradley. He's hit us twice for 250 damage in total. He's either hitting our cupola or, I don't know, where else is he going to hit for such a small amount of damage? But spotted again, and we can just see him take a shot. I didn't quite see if that if he had moved or not. But we desperately want to move up here and engage these other guys. We fire, and I think that one he did back up in time, and he has damaged our gun. And now we got a T-72A. It's waiting on the reload. Gonna fire off a shot, 452 damage, and we injure his driver. Our gun is damaged now, unfortunately. But doesn't matter, 440, and now we kill his driver. I got more missiles incoming. Managed to dodge that one. And fire again. 454 damage. The Challenger really is awesome when you get into these, when you're facing tier 6s. And even sometimes tier 7s, but I've had less luck with that tonight. In fact, I had some of the worst experiences in Armored Warfare of ever. Yeah, that's a thing now, deal with it. But some of the worst Armored Warfare experiences tonight. It was horrible. But anyways, now we're pushing up. We want to go and try and engage the Challenger that was here, or try and finish off the T-72. There he is. He bounces on our side. We're going to take the shot and do 305 damage for our first kill of the match. And here is another Challenger, just waiting on the reload. Going to put one into his side, it's going for his engine, but he started reversing, but it didn't matter. We managed to penetrate and finish him off. And now we are face to face with a third Challenger. We're going to try for the little headlight there. Just was kind of playing around to see what it was going to do. Pretty much did what I expected, track damage and that sort of thing. But we're going to move up now, and we're going to get a shot there, and 420 damage. We set him on fire, but someone finishes him off in the nick of time to take what would have been a third kill. We were robbed. You all saw it. We were robbed. He was on fire. He was dead. He was ours. But anyways, we still did a good amount of damage to him, and we've done a good amount of damage overall. As I said, I was being fairly cautious in this match. I still didn't know how much I could trust the armor on this thing, because I had heard that the gunner's sight weak spot wasn't actually completely removed, and just playing a bit cautiously. And in the end, it's kind of worked out. Haven't taken a whole lot of damage, haven't needed to use my repair kit. Excuse me. The gun, even though it is yellow, was performing just fine. But here we see the BMD4. We're going to try and move out and see if we can get a shot on him. Unfortunately, we noticed the tree falling over and realized he is actually on the other side of the hill. And the Charlie is still quite slow. I don't have the upgraded engine for it yet, obviously, as you saw. And there we go. Centauro gets the kill. So, off to the results we go. Alright, and not a bad little game, not bad results. I do believe this was my first win of the day, because the very first match was actually a tier 9 game, and you can imagine how well that went for me. And yeah, the other enemy team's tier 9s played better than our tier 9s did. So anyways, we got just under 5,500 reputation, which is pretty good. 141,000 credits, 3,644 damage, 5 spots, and 2 kills. We came second place on the team in terms of reputation, second place in terms of damage. On the enemy team, that T80 did 4,000. So overall, we came third overall in damage, which I'm pretty happy with. And yeah, the crew got to level 2 in that game. And it was really awesome to use this tank finally in PvP and not feel like, you know, it was just a reputation pinata, XP pinata, whatever you want to call it. But anyways, I think that is about it for this video. If you enjoyed, please feel free to hit the thumbs up button down below and consider subscribing for more Armored Warfare content, as well as World of Warships, War Thunder, and a few other things that are thrown into the mix from time to time. But yeah, as I said, that is it from me. Thank you very much for stopping by. This is Predator 458 signing off, and I will see you guys next time.